Well, we finally got a day where it's not going to rain. Although, that wind's back, which is just as annoying to me. But at least today we can get something planted outside in those hoop tunnels. And I've got a couple of packs of these Durham cabbage that we've been growing on. And they're not bad sized plants now. But because we've got those hoop tunnels with those nets, all we need to do is just pop these little plants in, and they're at least protected from pigeons. And that should give them enough time to get to more mature plants, hopefully before they get an onslaught of slugs, which is something that's really difficult to control. But they're not doing any good sat in these little pikes, so we might as well get them put in ground. And like we did with that calabrese, I'm only going to space them about a foot apart, because I only want small cabbages. I don't want great big things, because there's only two of us in house anyway, and there's only so much you can freeze. And if you're thinking about growing a lot of vegetables this year, and you want to preserve as much as you can to save money, then check out our cooking channel. There's a link in the description, because that shows you what we do to preserve excess amounts of crops at end of season. And that includes blanching and freezing and pickling. Also making hot sauces and tomato sauces to use in curries and soups. And we update that page quite often as well. So maybe hit the subscribe button, and then when we put a new video on, you'll know about it. Every one of our raised beds outside is covered with these hoop tunnels, as you know. And there's only one part in the entire garden that's got no cover on it at all. And that's the little area that I used a few days ago to put in what was left of my onions, what we'd grown from seed. Then I came out this morning and a cat's been digging half on them up. So it shows you what a worthwhile job these hoop tunnels do, or even just a little bit of netting over the top, because the first time that you leave anything, something is going to get to them. But anyway, today I'm just concentrating on these cabbage plants. We'll go out there, we'll get the net off, and we'll get some put in. So these are all those spare onions that I put in the other day, about 60 of them. But just there, you can see there's a cat or something been in there digging, and it's dug a couple up all together and moved all them onion sets that I had spare as well. So we'll have to put some over top of that before tonight. But we're concentrating on this part now. There's plenty of room in there to grow a few small cabbages. We've also got this area that we planted up quite recent, so it's a good job that we covered it with that net, because we did some really straight rows of different varieties of vegetables in here. And you can see that we've got some germination coming through already. It's only been a few days. So we'll definitely make sure we get this covered back up after. We have got the odd plant in here that's trying to grow a couple that we missed when we separated them. And they're not bad sized plants. Nice roots. So we'll just get them in. Don't take too long to do this job once you get started, and as I said, we're only going to do them about a foot apart. I just want small cabbages this year, and I'm making sure that I bury all that stem, as always, to keep these plants upright. It's also taking out any curves as well, like that. That's why we put them so deep. We only want that top part sticking out. Like that. And I'm only doing a foot between rows as well. There again, we've got two plants growing in the same cell, so I'm just going to pinch off the smallest one. Get them straight in there.
So you can see I've buried virtually all that plant apart from this top section. That's all we're interested in. If I make those holes, we should get about another 4 in there. That'll do for these. Making sure that I'm getting biggest plants anyway. And do a bit of weeding at the same time. We weeded all this only a couple of days ago, but it soon comes back when it gets warmer. You can see the nice little stocky plants though. So I'm going to do 2 rows of these and then I'll save a couple for containers as well. I have also got a tray of these Calabrese plants. So using the same method, just a foot away, I want to get some of these in as well. We might as well just get whatever we can in there. Especially since they're quite big plants. So we can soon take that stretch out by planting them deep like we do with the cabbages. And they have got loads of roots. And we'll do 2 rows of these as well. If you haven't got one of these tools, get one. It'll save you a lot of time. So just a few more. That job done. This has already got a yellowing leaf on it, so we might as well take that off straight away. It's not going to do plant any good. That'll do for those. Plenty of plants in about 15 minutes. So, didn't take us long at all to do that, but we'd better get this net put back over. Now we know them cats are around again. Well, it didn't take us long to sort that job out. It's not best of days because it's so windy again. It seems this year we can't get any consistency in his weather, and that's something also that causes problems with his plants. Inconsistent heat, inconsistent watering can all cause your plants to go to seed really quickly, or make them all start to turn yellow because they're getting too waterlogged. But we've got what we've got this year and we'll work with it. I suppose all that matters is that we get something done each day as we go through May, because as far as I'm concerned, it's not been a very good May at all. It's not normally windy and raining all the time, and we've had that pretty much every day in May, and it looks like it's going to continue right to the end of May. And I definitely know that at this time last year I was setting up barbecues because it was quite hot, so it looks like we're going to have to hold off on that for a little while longer. But at least we've got that job done now. And we know it's protected by those nets. So we just wait for it to grow. When that is, it's anybody's call this year. So all we can do is keep trying. We'll keep sowing seeds, potting things on and planting things out. And we'll just let nature take its course. Because that's one thing we definitely can't control. If you want to see what we're going to be doing over at weekend, then please hit that subscribe button and press that notifications bell. And we'll see you then. Take care.